Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss Bear Act of Indian Trade Union. Okay, Trade Union Act 1926, chapters and sections. So previous class we have discussed historical background and trade union formations, all that, and we are also discussed the 18th 19th situations, 18th 19th centuries situations, how the master slaves relationships were there, and how the slaves were treated. They were not given a proper wages and long working hours. They were not treated respectfully. And who were the slaves? Slaves were no war captivities, and due to incapable of pay back the debts were came under the slaves. So that was the main reason formation of the trade union. So today we are going to discuss Trade Union Act 1926, but we are not going to discuss everything today itself only. We are going to understand what is Bear Act, talk about this chapters, and we just break down that everything, sections, everything. We'll understand what is it all about. So the Trade Union Act 1926 consists of 5 chapters and 33 sections. So we are going to understand every sections elaborately. This I copy pasted from the Bear Act, which is been given from the Government of India. So let us understand what is Bear Act actually. So as we already said, it has 33 sections, 5 chapters. So one by one we'll understand. First section starts about section 1 talk about the short titles and commencement. It defines the name, scope and enforcement, date and act, when it exactly exists, all that it comes into under it. The article, an example, applies to all India and governs to trade and union. To definition, provides the definitions of the key terms like a trade union, office bearer and registrar, all that. Example, the trade union is organization formed to protect the workers' rights. Next is chapter 2. Chapter 2 mainly discuss about the section 3, appointments of registration. Next class we'll definitely discuss what is appointment, what is the registration and cancellations. So that we'll discuss, but today we are understanding each section, one line brief understanding. So appointment of registrars, government appoints the registrar for the trade union. For example, the Registrar of Trade Union Maharashtra handles the registration in the state. So every state has the registrar has been appointed by the state government. Okay, then next is mode of registrations. So mode of registration is having elaborate explanation, but today we are just saying that trade must have at least 7 members to apply for the registration. At least 7 members should be there to apply for the registration. Group of factory workers apply for the registration in Chennai. So every state and city, within city, every district can have their own what is that, trade union. So you can register under this mode. All right, application for the registrations, specific and how to register the applications. The union textile workers in Delhi submits application to registers. You will have to fill the complete informations regarding how many members are there, names of them, address, all that. Right. Provisions contain the trade union rules. Union rules must include name, objective, fund usage and member rights, all that. Transport workers, union includes and objective in the construction. Powers to call for future particular and request the alteration. Registers can ask for additional details before registrations. For example, registers ask mining union clarify its members' rules. Okay, registrations. If all conditions are met, the registrar register the union, trade union, and steel workers, for example, if a tree workers apply for this, and the union Odisha receives the official registration. Right. So once you apply, they'll verify and they'll give the registration certificate of the registrations. Registers union gets the certificate registrations as a proof. So any company, any trade union apply, then particular state receive it and give the certifications. Next is 3 to 9 is all about the registrations formation. We will discuss that in upcoming classes. So from 10 onwards, cancellation of registration. The registration can cancel register if the union violates the rules. They themselves can cancel, or if they violate any of the rules and regulations, then the government will cancel them. For example, Union of Kolkata is disregistered for the financial mismanagement. So that is, could be an example. Appeal against a refusal for cancellation registration. Union can appeal if register is denied or cancelled. For example, any transport union challenge its cancellation in court. Okay, so that we'll discuss later classes. Registered office. So every trade union must have a registered office. Coal mines or steel industry, any industry in that case, union in Jharkhand or register its own office in Ranchi. That is an example. Incorporation of registered trade union. Trade union is legally registered and can hold property. Right, any railway workers union own office in Chennai. Right, next is certain acts not apply to registered trade union. Union or exempt from the some corporate laws, like textile union is not exempted as a company. Right. Next is right and liability registered trade union. Here we'll talk about the fund. So objects and the which general fund. We are already into chapter 3, right? Objects on which general funds may be spent. Okay, union can spend money on welfare, legal aid, or members' benefits. For example, union pay for a worker's medical bill. So they'll have to give the clarity how they spend the money. So next is constitution of separate fund for a political purpose. So union can maintain separate fund for a political contributions. For example, a worker of union donates for the Labour Party campaign. If they have an election within them, so they can spend that money for them. Criminal conspiracy in trade. Members of registered union are protected from conspiracy charges in the legal strike. Sometimes if you transport any of this illegal products, then it will be considered as a criminal conspiracy. But if it is legally transported, it is not considered as a criminal activities. Immunity from the civil suit in cases. Okay, in certain cases there is an immunity in cases. Union are protected from civil liability for certain lawful activities. Example, peaceful protest by union is not punishable. Article 19 says that peaceful union, all that. Enforcement of agreement. Certain union agreement are not legally enforceable. Example, a verbal agreement between members cannot be enforced in court. Right, written documents should be there. Right to inspect book and trade union. Members can inspect union records, and for example, book, worker, clerk, the financial records are in his union. Right to minor and members. So if you have a minor to members, okay, person above 15-year-old can be union members. Example, 17-year-old apprentice joins a work union. Okay, so disqualification for the office bearer trade union. When they will be disqualified, some individuals are disqualified from the holding office. For example, a convicted criminal cannot be a union leader. Proposition of office bearer to be connected with the industry. 50% of the office bearer must be working in the industry, and a factory worker union must have workers in leadership. Change of name. The trade can legally change their names. Textile union rebrand itself, and amalgamation of trade is allowed. So 2 or more union can merge together, and 2 or more transportation union can join and form larger body. That is called amalgamations. Section 25 speaks of the notice of change of name of amalgamation. So register must be notified of mergers or name mergers. Effect of change of name or amalgamation. So the legal right of the union remain unchanged after a merger. Right. So dissolution of trade union. This process is closing a trade union is specified. Written to be submitted by trade union. Union must be submitted annual reports. Chapter 4 regulations and section 29 to 30 power to make a regulations. The government can make a rules for the trade union. Next is section 30 publications or registration. Regulation must be published publicly. Next is chapter 5 penalties and procedures, section 31 to 33. Failures to submit returns. If you failure to pay any income tax, the union face penalties for failing to submit reports. And example, union in Kolkata in the fined for not submitting annual returns. Right, supplying false informations. Okay, regarding trade unions, false information is punishable, and fraudulent union registration leads to legal action and cognizable of offenses. So defense of offense, define of how offense under act are handled in the court. So we will discuss everything section by section or compiling certain sections together. We will come up with new sessions. I hope this class is very much helpful for you. The Trade Union Act 26 legal recognition and protection to work in union while ensuring accountability. It plays a key role in safeguard working workers and right promoting collective bargaining in India. The Trade Union Act 1926 is divided into 5 parts, 5 chapter and 33 sections that we already discussed. So I hope you understood all that brief short understanding this class. Next class we will be discussing explain the procedure for registration and cancellation for a trade union. Okay,